Mandela was not only a humanitarian, he was also a multifaceted man and would often speak about food in both the metaphorical and literal sense.
One of his favorite beverages was amasi, and in a letter to his wife Winnie, he wrote from prison, "How I long for amasi, thick and sour." He went on to say that his appetite could easily dwarf that of his contemporaries.
In today's Food Mela, we pay tribute to this great man with some Mandela-inspired recipes.
To her parents, she was Nazira, a little girl with a big smile. But now she's causing a stir on the culinary scene as Zira. Growing up, she spent hours in the kitchen and never lost her love of cooking. And now she's launching a new brand identity, focusing on fine food.
As we celebrate Mandela Day today, we're going to be cooking with Zira, a self-taught cook, a foodie, and someone who believes that the kitchen is her paradise. She's going to whip up a Mandela-inspired chicken curry. Zira, welcome to Mela.
Thank you, Kajal. So wonderful to be here with you today. Shall I tell you a little bit about the history?
Absolutely.
All right. So when Madiba was released in 1990, his first night was actually spent at the Archbishop Desmond Tutu's home. And they didn't know what to cook for him. So they thought, why not cook what the Archbishop likes? And that is what they decided. It was chicken curry.
Well, that's fantastic. Yes. I mean, who doesn't love chicken curry?
Absolutely. It's my all-time favorite, and it's my Monday must. After a weekend, chicken curry.
Well, I can't wait to try it. Where do we start?
Shall we begin? All right, so we've got a medium-sized pot because we're going to cook perhaps for a family of 4 to 6 people.
Okay.
Some ordinary cooking oil. I think in these days we need to be health conscious, and we don't really need much oil.
Zira, you went from being a working woman in the corporate world to being in the kitchen. What made you decide to do that?
You know, they say in everyone's life you tend to change your career at least 3 times. So I've been traveling. I've worked in Johannesburg, I've worked in Cape Town, set up factories and MDs of companies, and then I just decided to come back home. My kids are all grown up, and I thought it's time to follow my passion. And here I am. And I want to show the world how to cook, Zira style.
Well, I think it was a wonderful idea.
Well, let us see.
Okay.
Shall we get going?
Let's do this.
Okay, so just want to put this onion into some heated oil. The next thing, Kajal, when I braise onion or saute onion, I love to put these magical seeds, these cumin seeds. You know, they just add something special to a curry. So you want to cook these onions until they're just a pale kind of golden brown. And really, onion is the basis of every curry. You know, you get, the sauce part is actually onion and tomato. So onions are lovely pale golden color. I'm just going to move it to the side. And Kajal, it's now time to spice the chicken. So I have a chicken that's cut into pieces. I'm going to have to put in some fresh spice. So this is freshly ground ginger.
Nothing like fresh ginger.
Absolutely. You'd need a teaspoon of this. Some garlic. All right. To that, you always want to season your meat, a bit of salt, and just to give it a beautiful color, exotic color, a bit of turmeric. So you want to mix this up, and you're going to place it into your pot.
Zira, how would you describe your style of cooking?
Kajal, I call it fusion. And lots of people ask me, so what is fusion? And I say it is food from all over the world with a hint of spice. Yeah. All right, so it's time now to cook this chicken up. Place it in there. So you really want this to cook, till it's quite tender. And now we're going to add some water. Okay. And lid on and let us simmer.
How long do we cook it for?
About 15 to 20 minutes. All right, Kajal, so now it's time to add in some tomato. This is to get the gravy base going. I have grated the tomatoes. You want to add 2 grated tomatoes.
Why do you grate the tomatoes?
For me it's simpler because you get more, the gravy tends to be a little thicker, and it's really important to have that nice thick gravy in a chicken curry. So now it is time to spice up that gravy.
Now, take us through the spices that you use.
This is chili powder, an international spice. Not my favorite, I must add. I prefer the crushed form of it. I just believe it gives a more exotic look to the curry when you make it, or to any other food. All right, so there you've got the crushed version of that. turmeric, which we talked about earlier. We did put it into the curry. Ground coriander, all right? It's actually just crushed. So you can see the little seeds are just still there. And there's some ground cumin.
So what do we add in here?
Okay, so my favorite.
Crushed chilies.
Yes. And I would put 2 teaspoons. You can put in as much as you would like. We need to add salt because we're going to make a curry now, all right? A teaspoon of ground cumin and a teaspoon of ground coriander. I need to add some water to that.
Do you know that I've heard that you should put your spices in oil so that they fry?
Yes. When you fry your spices, it becomes very much more pungent. All right, so that would be a really traditional Indian chicken curry. So I'm giving you a little bit of a chicken curry with a twist. And it's a much more milder form. And you'll actually see when we're done. There are a few things that we need to add. And these are the potatoes.
Seeing that we are celebrating Mandela Day today.
Yes.
Is this going to be your signature Mandela Day dish?
Why not, Kajal? With the history that's attached to it, it was his first meal that he ate when he was released from prison, that very night. How lucky am I to prepare it? I've got another touch to add. This just gives it a little bit of a twist, and I'm going to put in some peas if they're not cooked. And I'm going to have to cover this pot again to let this cook.
I wish you could smell this. That is delicious.
Oh, I'm so glad that
That
you
is
enjoyed
really
it.
delicious. Can I eat all of this?
No, you have to share with me.
So Zira, for those of our viewers that are going to try this at home, what tips do you have for them?
I think keep it simple and cook with love.
Well, there we have it. In memory of our beloved Madiba, Zira's chicken curry, a different kind of Indian.